ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयोगमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां कोकिलम् महत्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणो यस्य वामे च जटाच पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय। So thank you for coming back. I did not even expect that anyone would be here, looking at how much rain there was. So thank you. It means a lot to me that you have taken the time out to be here. And thank you, Prabhu, for being here as well. I'm very grateful. I'm a little nervous being in the presence of someone so senior. Thank you. I appreciate it. I need his. I'm grateful for his presence. So this is Vibishana Saranagati. This is an older presentation, so there are some pictures that are funny. Still, it is what it is for tonight's presentation. So generally, when we talk of Vibishana, and then the tomorrow's topic, we present this musically. I have a dear God family, God sister, and her husband is Jyotirmaya, and her sister is Jisuta Prabhu, and their son Shripati. Shripati is a fantastic violin player. Their son also plays mridangam, and he does all the slides. So we narrate the story, we sing the verses, picking certain ragas to situate the mood in which the scene is happening. At least in my experience, and when I present this without a wonderful team, I feel like I'm eating khichdi without salt. It will be like that for you today. No blood pressure. They add so much to it. I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity to present with them. But for now, so we will start by being present in Ravana's palace. Ravana sitting on his throne, surrounded by all of his ministers. And Ravana His head is bowed low because this is the first time in his life he has faced some embarrassment. He has faced embarrassment before also. Like he lost a battle with Bali. He had other devatas embarrassed him little here and there. But recently, he was embarrassed by a mere Vanara. This impetuous monkey by the name had the courage to enter Lanka. How dare he? He entered Lanka, he even spoke to Sita Devi and arrogantly put down his entire kingdom. That took just one Vanara. So he's so embarrassed, angry, of course. His head is bent low with his ministers surrounding him, and he asks them, what is the best thing to do now? Ultimately, what should we do? What is the suitable strategy for us to deploy? So please suggest what is good for me. One may think, wow, Ravana has good sense. He doesn't want to hear anything to do with Sita Devi. He wants to know the best thing to counterattack and restore his pride and arrogance and be relieved of this embarrassment. So, the leader has psychopaths who only speak flattery. Usually, when people flatter, it means both the flatterer and the flattered are on very risky surface. Either one or both slip and fall very badly. So flattery is a very dangerous thing. And sometimes I've noticed in the Vaishnava circles as well, appreciation turns into flattery. And one way to, not that they are intending to flatter, but for us as sadhakas, a practice to make sure that our appreciation of someone is not flattery, but actual appreciation has to have three components. Then it becomes appreciation. Flattery, for example, would be, Prabhu, you're a Mahabhagavata walking here. It sounds really nice, really nice. But it's not beneficial for either. But appreciation would have something like, part one, I'm dealing with such and such situation, or my mind was disturbed, I was in some difficulty, whatever. Statement of what I was dealing with. Two is how your help, either through words or actions or support, or just your presence, help me to acknowledge that it helped me and to say how it helped me. How this situation took me from your association or took me to that situation. That makes it very real. Prabhu, I was dealing with a very difficult situation and you came as you inspired by Krishna to come and you gave me this good advice. You gave me a way to see things differently and that really helped me to become stronger. I was able to see the problem from a higher perspective that gave me some confidence, gave me some courage, it pacified my mind, whatever is the outcome, then that is appreciation. It's meaning to it. Other person will also know that, oh, I contributed in someone's life. Because for a Vaishnava to know that they are contributing in someone's life is a great feeling of service. Krishna gave me some service to do. The conversation is just on, abstract things. Then it is hard. Digression. So here are all the lovely, they're all butter vendors. They're going to butter him up like anything. So one said, Ravana, what are you worried about? Those Vanaras on that side, they neither have the political skill nor strength. Look at us, we are Rakshasas, we are very, very strong. So why are you so despondent and worried? Then one stood up and said, you remember, Ravana, you attacked Bhagavati, just Kubera's kingdom. You attacked Bhagavati and you completely subdued all the Nagas. Someone said, you went to Kailash, you vanquished Kubera there. You arrested all the Yakshas and brought home the prize, the Pushpa. All electric, moves with your mind. Electric is my addition, it's not electric. Another said, Maya Danava, the greatest illusionist in the universe. He was so scared of you that to make peace with you, he offered his daughter Mandodari to you. You went to Rasatala, and in Rasatala you vanquished a great serpent, Takshaka. Vasuki, Kanaka, Jati, all these persons. In fact, nobody ever goes to Yamaraja's abode and comes back. You defeated Yamaraj. What is your accomplishment, Ravana? His chest is widening. So, all the Kshatriyas on this planet scared of you. Nobody wants to fight, nobody wants to face off with you. In fact, why do you have this anxiety at all? Just stay here in Lanka and you have Indrajit. He defeated the king of the Devatas. That's how he got his name, Indrajit. He alone can take care of everybody. So, then one human being called Ram. Don't be worried at all. Don't worry. In Ravana's general Brahmana, he himself was big, dark like a cloud. While he said, he assured Ravana that we have invincible strength against anybody. And after all, it was Hanuman and Vandara came in when we were not vigilant, but that should not be taken as a defeat. We can take care of Hanuman very easily. Guru got up and roared loudly and he said, I am immediately kill Hanuman for the offense of attacking Lanka. All other mighty Rakshasas with sharp teeth in their hands were big gadas that were stained with blood and flesh because of the use of killing so many people in the universe. They all said, oh, don't worry, we will take care of Hanuman. Not just Hanuman, we will face Sugriva also. In fact, we will go in human forms and cause misunderstanding between Hanuman, between Ramachandra and Sugriva, and make sure that politically they are completely destroyed. Nikumba, the son of Kumbhakarna. He said, all of you just sit down. I alone am enough. I will go kill Ram, Lakshmana, Hanuman, and all the Pandavas single-handedly. I can take care of everybody, nobody needs you. Another Rakshasa by the name Vajra Hanu stood up. And he was smacking his lips, thinking how tasty the Vanaras would be when he would just eat them alive. He said, I am going. You will sit here in Lanka and enjoy, have fun, drink what you want, eat what you want. I will go. The entire Vanara army, that includes Sugriva, Hanuman, Rama, Lakshmana, Angada, and so each one is getting up and pounding their chest. I am there for you, Ravana. I will go and take care of this. I will go take care of this. So there is in all this confusion. There is only one person who is looking at all of them thinking, Or what are these people talking? So this is when we hear first somebody. Who's this somebody who doesn't agree to all of this? Vibhishana. So what Vibhishana did is he got up. Valmiki says, Tan Grihitan Ayuhan Sarvan Varayitva Vibhishana Abravit Pranjalir Vakyam Punaha Pratyupeveshataha. He folded hands, went to all of them and said, please sit down. Punaha made them sit down. And how they're doing, they're all Grihitan Ayudhan Sarvan. They're all holding their weapons ready, just for waiting for Ravana to say, yeah, go for it. So he's pleading with all of them, no, please, sit down, please think carefully, sit down. As they say in Hindi, Are Baba, baitho. No, don't get so all riled up. So he tries to put some sense into them and he says, do you realize that nobody in this universe can cross the ocean and dare to enter Lanka? So you must not discount that so easily. And don't disregard or underestimate Sri Rama's strength. It is inestimable. It is that strength that made Hanuman come here. Anyway, what offense has Rama done to you? Do you have any animosity with Ramachandra? But one of you might say, Ravana, my dear brother Ravana, you might say, what? What do you mean no animosity? He killed Khara, Dushana, Rishiras, 14,000 of my representatives in Janathan. Obviously, I am upset. But we all know that Ramachandra fought with those Rakshasas in self-defense. You can't blame somebody when they are protecting themselves in self-defense. Then he gives a good advice that when someone is very dharmic, with such a person, you should not ignite animosity because dharma always will protect them. Rakshati, Rakshitaha. Rakshitaha means one who protects dharma. Rakshati. In Raghuvamsha, Kalidasa gives a good visual how dharma works. This is dharma Rakshati Rakshita. He says dharma is like a walking stick. Someone who can't walk, for such a person, walking stick gives support. But when does that walking stick support? Only when you are holding it. If it is in that corner, even if I can't walk, that stick cannot happen. So when I hold it and put it on the ground, Rakshita, it will help you. That means you have to live by dharma, then dharma will protect. Otherwise, it's just talk, and there is nothing to come and help. So he says, things have gone to such a bad degree that I suggest you please give Sita back. Otherwise, the Sri Ramachandra will come here, and by that time it will be too late. Everything will get destroyed. So my advice is, please give Sita Devi back. Oh my dear brother, as your well-wisher, please give her back. Do it before Sri Ramachandra starts shooting arrows at you. By the time, because it is Ramabana, it never fails, never misses. So here's a beautiful verse. He tells Ravana, Yajasva Obam Sukha Dharma Nashanam Vajasva Dharmam Ratirtivardhanam Prasida Jivemasa Putra Bandhavan Pradiyata Jaradhaya. There are at least 8 to 10 verses, something like that, where the last line is always Pradiyata Dasaradhaya Maithili. That you understand, you don't need explanation, right? Pradiyata, give back. Dasaradhaya, unto Ramachandra, Dasaratha Maithili, Sita Devi. So this is a very good advice. The advice that he gives, which is beneficial for anybody reading it or hearing it. So he gives a principle of life. The principle is in the first two lines. Tejasva Obam. One should give up anger. In fact, Tejasva is telling him directly, you should give up anger. Sukha Dharma Nashanam. As soon as there is anger, anything that is happy in your life, anything that is sattvic, dharmic in your life, Nashanam will get destroyed. Bhajasva, in fact, you should live by because it increases Rati and Kirti for you. Rati Kirti Vardhanam. Rati means people will be attracted to you, people will feel closer to you. In fact, your anger will push people away. If you live dharmically, people will be drawn to you. And Kirti Vardhanam, people will speak about you in nice way. Prasida, become pacified. Jiveva, let's all live along with our children and families. Put on nice clothes, go for festivals, go for gatherings, have nice bazaar. Let's live like that. And that's possible if you give Sita back. So when you spell anger, A-N-G-E-R, as soon as there is anger in somebody, anger is such a force that pushes a person to speak and do things that they will regret for the rest of their lives. That is the nature of anger. And so there was a American motivator who said, as soon as you have anger, what happens is the red flag is you have to add a D in front of it. A-N-G-E-R. D in front of it, it becomes D-A-N-G-E-R. Danger. That is what anger does. It puts one in a very dangerous condition. So Ravana, let's live happily with our families, children, families. That way we are not going to your act to give Sita back. Ravana heard it, but he dismissed everyone from his presence. So next day Vibishana comes back. Valmiki says his body is full of splendor, effulgence, because he's such a wonderful personality. So he comes back, spots his chariot, gets down, and he comes, as he's entering Ravana's palace again. There are all these Brahmanas reciting verses, there is Chandana and Agarbatti or Dhupa walking through the palace. And you can hear grains and ghee being offered, swaha, swaha. And then Vibhishana enters that place where Ravana is alone. He offers his respects with folded palms to his older brother, Ravana, who was seated on a chair in a contemplative mode. Ravana is so angry because Vibhishana gave him bad advice. It is bad advice for Ravana. That he didn't even speak to his brother, just with his eyes, he indicated there. So at this time, Ravana is only with his very close ministers, not the rest of the cabinet, if you will. At this time, Vibhishana said, I'm going to try again, and I'm going to speak to my brother some words that will help him. Because Vibhishana knew what is good. Kind of advice to give that is suitable to time and place. People can give advice, but if it is not suitable to time and place, I'll give you an example. Some devotee, they had a death in the family, and it came. And even before empathizing that I'm sorry for your loss, I'm sure it must be hard for you. Where they get some time to acknowledge and accept the inevitability that their relative had passed away or died, our enthusiastic preacher came and said, "Why are you worried? After all, it's not the body." It is truth, no doubt at all. But for time and place, the way it should be delivered and by who it should be delivered like that, there's some softness required when you deliver a very sharp message. And so this person from sadness into anger instead of feeling passive. They were now dealing with the death of the family or family member and also have to deal with their own anger. Because it is insensitive, it felt insensitive when they said that. Although it is absolutely true, no doubt about it. But according to time and place, even if that person is themselves practicing devotee, they know. So there is a sense of affection. We are not warm-hearted devotees where we accept and understand emotions. These are important, these are there. And while they are there, we also learn that there is another factor of life. Remember the phrase we talked the other day? Loka tattva vichakshana, how the world operates. So he was very good. He said, maybe Ravana didn't understand. I said like this in a very general way. Maybe I need to tell him that from the time Sita has been brought here, Sita Devi, what is happening in Lanka? Maybe he needs to see all the consequences of such an act. So he says, Yada Prabhrati means from that time. Yada. Well, from that time onwards, Vaidehi Samprapteha Iha. From the time Vaidehi has arrived here, Tada, at that time, or from that time, Tada Prabhrati Drishyante, you can see all over Lanka. Because Ravana, you're sitting in a palace. But let me tell you what's happening outside. Let me tell you ground reality. Sometimes leaders are too busy in their, this is just a figurative, in their ivory towers, that they lose touch with ground reality. So Vibishana is saying, let me give you ground reality. Drishyante nimittani, indicators. Nimitta is instrument, but indicators. Nimittani ashubhani nah. By us, nah drishyante. We are seeing very inauspicious indicators everywhere. So let me give you some examples, Ravana. When the Brahmanas are offering ghee and grains into the fire, it should glow brightly, but the fire is very dim. It means that something is inauspicious. Because every person knows that certain acts have inauspicious consequences. And he says when those fires are burned for yajna, from those fires, snakes are coming out. Which is not good, Ravana. In your Goshala, hey, did you know Ravana has Goshala? In your Goshala, the cows, their udders have become dry. There is no milk at all. We are feeding them the best grass. There is no milk, they are all dry. So we are not able to make paneer. No paneer butter masala. He says elephants who drip this way, which means they are fertile and strong and potent, they become dry. That means they cannot produce more elephants. Donkeys and camels completely shedding their hair, and your doctors are giving them the best medicines, but they have a hair loss problem. If you go to the terrace of your buildings, everywhere there are wild crows circling and cawing constantly. And even above them, eagles and vultures are howling. Not a good sign, Ram. Actually, Ramayana is a Nimitta Shastra also. It tells you indicators, how to read indicators. It's difficult, like twitching in the body for men and women, the placement of the stars in the sky, In India, is that, oh, I'm very sentimental and superstitious because a black cat this way. Things have meaning when you see a cow, when you see a buffalo, jackal, hearing the sound of a jackal. Hearing the sound of a jackal is not inauspicious. Seeing one is actually beauty. It says carnivorous animals are all howling at the gate. Therefore, I think that the best atonement for this sin is Pradiyadam Dasaradhaya. That's the only thing you can do. Please give Sita back. And he said, I'm not speaking out of some delusion or greed. Please don't fault me. I'm speaking out of the best wishes for you. You're my brother. No grudge against you. Others, they're not really your well wishers. So he says, Prapade chasya mantrasya nivrita sarva mantrina. Sarva mantri, all that are there, nivrita, their behavior towards you, avasyam cha maya vacham yad drishtam atmashtam. I am speaking to you something that is beneficial for you. What they are speaking is just their own selfishness. They want to be in your good books. Samvidhaya yatha nyayam. Samvidhaya. You decide and act yatha nyayam. What you think seems proper. Nyayam just. Because I'm speaking to you. Tad bhavam kartum arhati. And accordingly how you feel after listening to my advice, you should do. Krishna also says to Arjuna, you think properly, and then you act. Because I'm giving you advice. So then Valmiki says, Vibhishana's speech, fantastic. There is no anger, there is no loud yelling, you should do like this, nothing like that. He just says, Hitam Mahartham, Mritu Hetu Samhitam, Yatita Kalayati Sampratikshama, Nishamyata Vakyam, Upasthita Jara, Prasangavan Uttam Etat. First two lines are what Vibhishana said. The last two lines are what happens to Ravana, hearing this. What are the qualities of good advice? This is the lesson for us. Hitam. Advice should be given that is best for that person. It should be hitam. It should be in their welfare. Maha-artham. It should have great meaning. At least in Vibhishana's word, it had great meaning. What is the great meaning? He is making Ravana try and move to be in the middle of the road of Dharma, not near the boundary of Dharma. Many times people try and are usually near the edge of Dharma. They see that how far can I go without violating a certain rule. I don't want to give an example, but you understand. And then he says, how is he speaking to him? Mridu, softly, not angrily, powerfully, or irritably either. Mridu. And hetu samhitam. It had good logic in his speech. And vyatita kala. Kalayati Sampratikshama. His advice is something that is suitable for the past, present, and future. It never gets old. It never gets out of date, out of context. It is always fresh and present. It was appropriate when Krishna first spoke to Suryadeva. Idam vivastate yogam proktavanam. From that time it was valid. All through millions and millions of ages, it's valid. It was valid when Arjuna was hearing it. It is valid today when we hear it. And it will be valid till Pralaya happens. That is the kind of word. Who is speaking? Vibhishana is speaking. There is a Mahabharata phrase that if you give a fool good advice, what happens to the fool? He becomes angry. Whenever a fool is given good advice, he becomes angry. So, Nishamya Tad Vakyam. He heard those words, who Ravana. But Upasthita Jwaram, in his body, he had this feverish rage in him. And where does this Jwaram, feverish rage come from? What is the cause? What is the cause for anger? What does Krishna say? Arjuna says, I don't know what it is in me. There is a force that pushes me. And Krishna says, yeah, it is Kamesha. Kamesha. Samudbhava. It springs up like that. Kamesha. So in other words, prasanga. Lust. Prasangavan. Because Ravana is very attached. So we're going to digress and talk about this word prasanga. Sangha, association, attachment. Prasanga, blind attachment. Very intense attachment. And Lord Kapila, he gives a good advice to help practitioners to move from attachment in the worldly sense to something that will, the sense of attachment will help. Usually attachment never helps. But he tells us that there is attachment that will help. I'm sure you heard this verse from Bhagavatam 3rd canto. Prasangam ajaram pasham. You know what prasangam means? Intense attachment. Ajaram. Jaram, that which becomes old or weak. Ajaram means very strong. When does attachment become weak? When does attachment become weak? Huh? Never. That's it. Never. Attachment never becomes weak. Prasangam ajaram pasham. It's like a noose that only gets tighter or it's always there. Who knows this? Atmanaha kavayu vidu. Those who are kavaya. Kavaya is a plural for kavi. Kavi means thoughtful person. Those who see and notice how their life is and what is the world looks like. So Atmanaha kavayu vidu. They consider this in their mind. I have attachment that is very, very strong that never becomes weak. So then Kapila gives a trick, a solution of how to use that attachment. Prasangam ajaram pasham atmana kavayu vidu sa esha sadhushu kruto. If you take that intense attachment and direct it towards the devotees, that means become immensely attached to sadhus. Because I have a tendency to become attached. So instead of becoming attached to things and worldly relationships, the age of sadhu, you turn it, you direct it and become intensely attached to sadhus. Moksha dwara, the door for liberation opens up. So attachment itself is not bad. Attachment where it is directed makes it beneficial or hurtful. So prasangavan uttaram etat apra. So we told if you give fool and a fool advice, he becomes angry. So he said, Vrito, Ravana in his anger sent everybody back, dismissed Vibishana, even with good advice. Later in the day, Ravana's court is in full session, full cabinet meeting is going on. There, our Vibishana tries one more time. In Ravana's eyes, this guy's an irritating fellow. Hey, come on, how many times have you tell me the same thing? It feels like that. Ravana is also in that spirit. Again, Prahasa, Kumbhakarna, etc. They were all roaring with excitement at the prospect of war. Let's go. So then Vibhishana says, let me try putting some sense into Ravana in another way. Maybe this didn't work. I have to show him how dangerous condition he is in. This verse is it's a poetical simple analogy. Okay, so you have to visualize as I read it. You can read there or close your eyes and visualize what Vibhishana is telling Ravana. Vito hi bhakvantara bhoga rashi tinta susmita tikshna damshra panchamuri panchashiro atikaya sita mahahi tavakena rajan. Is calling him Rajan, king. Tavakena, by whom has Vrita encircled around your neck this Mahaahi, this great snake, the hooded serpent. Someone has put that around your neck. And what does that snake look like? Bhakvantara Bhoga Rashi. The form, the body of that snake is made of Bhakvantara, Bahu Antara, the chest of Sita. That's where your attention is, no? So that's the deadly form of a deadly snake. The smile on Sita's face that you want to look for, that is Chinta Vishana. Her Chinta, sadness, thinking of Ramachandra is the poison that's going to kill you. Susmita, you think she will have a sweet smile, but that Susmita Tikshna Damshra, that's the fangs of that snake bite you. Panchambuli, you think her fingers are beautiful, you want to be able to hold her hand. Panchambuli Panchashira, the snake has 5 heads and his fingers are those 5 heads. Atikaya, this is a very big bodied serpent, like a anaconda, much bigger, whatever. Atikaya, Sita, Mahaahi, Tava, Kena, Rajan. Who put the snake around your neck? He's not telling you fool, you put it around your own neck. What is the older brother? So he cannot. He asks, who put that snake around your neck? What a very graphic way of trying to shake Ravana. Vrito hi bhakvantara bhoga chinta visha susmita tikshadam panchamuri panchashiro atikaya sita mahaahi tavakena rajaja. Who did this to you? Lust, Krishna says in the 3rd chapter, is venomous, deadly. The more you feed it, the more it burns, the more it becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And then he tells him, listen, if Ramachandra shoots an arrow, then that's the next verse, Jivam. He says, Jivam tu Ramasya no mokshaye. You will not be alive. If Ramachandra shoots an arrow, you may think from Gupta Stavitrapi, you may go to the sun planet and hide there. But this arrow will come looking for you. It's a laser guided missile. It will come for you. Athava Marut bhi, and in the Marut, if you hide there, even then it will come for you. Na Vastava Anka Gato. Even if you sit on the lap of Vastava Indra, even then, na Mrityor, Nabha, na Padalam, Anupravishta. If you hide in the sky, you hide in Padala, looking for you. Is deadly. If Ramachandra releases an arrow, don't get into that situation. End it. Stop it. Give Sita back. Pradiyatam Dasharathaya Maithya. Somebody heard all this. Prahasta is also there. We're not afraid of Yakshas. We are not afraid of Gandharvas, Nagas, Kinnaras, Kipurushas. When we are not afraid of any of these celestial beings, why should we? Human being. No. So Vibhishana says, Prahasta, don't be so arrogant. Don't boast like this. You think that strength of Rama as a human being is fighting with 10,000 warriors at the same time? He's a Maharathi. He can, at one time, collectively fight with 10,000. That's not something you ignore. Don't boast of your strength. सुनिविष्टम हितम वाक्यम उक्तवान विभीषणः ब्रवीत परुषम वाक्यम रावण कालचोदितः. Now hearing all this argument between Prahasta and Vibhishana for over days, Vibhishana has been trying to he's irritating him like anything. So finally, Abravit Parusham Vakyam. Parusham, rude, cruel, hard. Abravit Parusham Vakyam, Ravana, Kalachodita. Kalachodita. Chodita means inspired. Kalachodita is being inspired by time. And this time, the Kala word means death. Because Krishna says, Kalo, I am dead. Kala Chodita. So his own death inspired him to speak harshly. Another meaning, if you want to extract a little bit more, wherever there is harsh speech, death is hovering around it. Whatever is that thing that will die. The relationship can die, the friendship can die, the person can die, depending on the intensity of harshness. Bhakti never dies, but it gets stopped. But it brings the person to some end. That's the consequence of harshness. Ravana became so angry and he said, Vahe vaste saha sapatnena krutnena vishena prutmitra pravadena samvase shatrusevina. You are not my person. You are one who is living with the enemy. You are not my friend. You are an enemy. This is not how friends speak. His definition of friendship is all distorted. This is not how friends speak. And then he tells Vibhishana what kind of a brother he is. यथा मधुकरस्पर्शात् रसं विन्दन्न विद्यते तथा तुम अपि तत्रैव तथा अनार्येषु सौहृदम्. Anaryesu Sauhrid. You are Anarya. You have no refinement in you. There is no Sauhridam, no well-wishing for me. You are ungrateful, just like a bee that goes to a flower that has honey and mercilessly takes away that honey and walks away. What he's saying is, I have been feeding you. You are in Hindi says, "Tumne mera namak khaya hai." And you are being very ungrateful. Namak haram. That's more blunt way, but he is also speaking bluntly, angrily to him. He says, "Anyastu evam vidham bruya vakyam ekam nishanchara." Anyastu, if anyone else had spoken like this to me, O Rakshasa, Asmin Muhurte na bhave. In that minute, they would have been killed. Pamtu, Kulapamsana, Dhikka. Whenever somebody says Dhik, that means the relationship is dead. And Kulapamsana, you have the stigma of our family. You are the worst Rakshasa. This is not how people speak. This is not how brothers speak. Because you are my brother, you are alive. Although if anyone said it, Asmin Bhukte na Jeevan. Not Bhavedi. So Vibhishana, what to do? When Ravana told him, I don't need your advice. We are not afraid of fire, we are not afraid of weapons, we are not afraid of news, of death. Selfish relatives like you are causing us more distress than anything else. Get out here. He said, Tik Kulapamsana. Ityuktva Parusham Vakyam Nyayavadi Vibhishana. Utpapata Gada Panish Chaturdiristahara. As soon as his brother said, Tik Kulapamsana, Vibhishana realized, time to go. And so, Valmiki says, Utpapata Gada Pani. Holding his Gada, Chaturbhi Rakshasa with 4 other Rakshasas, Utpapata. Papata means to fall to papata means to rise. But this rising is not just he slowly got up, got his bag and books and left slowly. No. The word Utpapata must be understood this way. If you have the experience, let's say in India, in the peak of summer, there is a granite floor and it is burning hot. If you place your foot on it, what's your reaction? It's like that. That is Utpapata. He did not wait a second, immediately rose up. That now some people may ask, what kind of brother is Vibishana? He left his brother and went away. So the reason he went away, from a dharmic perspective, as soon as someone says think, it means you are not wanted. And once it has been confirmed that they are not wanted, they should not stay there. Because when they continue to stay there, the poison in the heart of the other person grows even more and much faster. From a bhakti perspective, Vibhishana, Vidura, they left because they realized they have no more service here. Devotee is always considered in the context of service. So there is no more service for him. Hovering in the sky or in the air in front of Ravana. Abravitcha tada vakyam jata krodha Vibhishana. Suddenly Vibhishana became angry. One may wonder, I thought he was dharmic. People should not become angry. What is it? Vibhishana is angry. Antariksha gataha Shriman Bharataram Rakshasadipam. Rakshasa Adipam. That is the king of the Rakshasas was addressed by Vibhishana. He is Antariksha gataha. He is in the sky. And he spoke Jata Krodha. But there is one word to notice. Soon as Vibhishana got up, leaving Ravana's association, Valmiki calls him Shriman. Until this time, that adjective is not there for him. Shriman. That means when our intelligence works, that this association is dreadful. Here, I should be in more holy association. At that point, Shriman, a person becomes Shriman, endowed with all auspicious. Rupa Goswami in Nectar Instruction twice tells us, one in this way and one in that way. He says, one, you should give a bad association. And then he says, you should sato vritte, you should take good association. Both are there. Just emphasizing from both sides. So this is the first time he is called Shriman. And he said, Sattvam Bhrata Asi me Rajan Ruhi Man Yadichasi Jeshto Manya Pitarosho Na Cha Dharmapate Sthitaha. You know, you are my older brother. So according to Dharma, older brother must be treated like one's father, with respect, with honor. But you have not lived like that. You have not lived like this. So I cannot see you. I cannot respect you like a father because you violated dharma like anything. Idam tu parusham vakyam na kshamami agrajasyate. Oh, older brother, na kshamami. I cannot tolerate this kind of words anymore. Sunitam. Nita is morality. Sunitam, excellently moral words. Sunitam hitakamena vakyam uktam dashanana. I've spoken to you out of nothing but welfare, out of goodness for your benefit. Na krinanti akritatmanaha kalasya vashamagataha. For whom the time has come, that time they cannot hold. And my father would always tell me, Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. They always said that. Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi, which means I never took his advice. And whenever I didn't take his advice, Vinashakale Viparita Buddhi. That's, I heard this so many times in my childhood. And then it says this verse, which is such a lovely, lovely verse. And before I recite it, this verse, word to word, every syllable is repeat when Maricha tells Ravana. Finally, when Ravana says, go, become that deer, and we will kidnap Sita. Maricha, who is the demon himself, tries to reason with Ravana. Ravana doesn't want to listen. At that time, Maricha says, this exactly Vibhishana is repeating to Ravana. So he has heard this before, word to word, syllable to syllable. Every letter is repeated. If you go back and see, it's exactly the same verse. And it is such a good lesson for sadhakas as well. Sulabha Purusha Rajan Priyavadinah. I think it's good to repeat. Let's see. Sulabha Purusha Rajan Satatam Priyavadinah Priyasya Achapathyasya Shrota cha Durlabham. So in one's life, there are two categories. Sulabha means very easy to find. Purusha, Rajan, O king. Satatam Priyavadina. You will easily find people who will always speak Priyavadina. It's pleasing. And then he says, in the second line, Apriyasya, words that are not pleasing. And Apatyasya, Patya, that which is digestible easily. Munda. Apatyasya is biryani. Apatyasya, Bhakta. You find someone who will speak to you that which is not pleasing, that which is not easily digestible. Bhakta, Shrota, somebody who can speak and somebody who can hear that message. To Durlabha. Bhakta, Shrota, Durlabha. Very difficult to find. So the lesson, if we ever get somebody in our life who can tell us something that's not pleasing, which means they're giving us good advice, then it is rare that such a person is there. It is very rare that someone will receive it. It's good to receive such medicine. Medicine generally is on the bitter side. If it's too sweet, it doesn't work so well. Truth is somehow bitter, but it is medicine. Lies are always sweet because they get through very quickly. Very beautiful verse. So he says, so here's a lovely story. Alexander, the king from Greece, was so powerful that he had conquered all of Eastern Europe. And then he entered Asia and all the way from Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan into India, and he still wanted to go further. But when he came to India, his kingdom was so big. But he fell sick and was very close to his death. So at that time, he called his ministers and he told them, I'm going to die very soon. And this is how I want my funeral to be conducted. So he said, my casket. So the persons who carry the casket are called pallbearers, the people who carry. He said, I want the best doctors in our kingdom, 4 of them, to carry my dead body. Only doctors and the best. And then from the casket, my hand should be hanging out like this as they carry me through the streets. I want people to see this. And you ministers, as my body is being taken, behind that, you should take all the gold and silver and rubies and emeralds and pearls and diamonds that are there and scatter them on the streets like this. Like, what kind of message is this? What is it that you're trying to convey to people? So he's conveying that when death arrives, even the best of doctors cannot help it. Number one. Second, I want people to know, you come empty-handed and you're going also back like that. How much ever in between You're collecting, you're going empty handed. All the jewels being scattered on the earth is that they come from the earth and everything has to return to earth. That is it. So life is futile if you haven't done anything about what after that. So he says, Ravana, if you don't take my, even then he's still giving advice. If you don't take my advice, you will be killed. You will be killed, my dear brother. Sorry.
Yeah.
We haven't even got Vibishana to. Okay, we want to see this. Ityuktva Purusham Vakyam Ravanam Ravananujaha Ajagama Mahurtena Yatra Rama. Very quickly, he came. He says, Ajagama. He arrived when Rama and Lakshmana arrived. He didn't say he went. He said he arrived. What? Any idea? He was with Ravana. He didn't say he left and went to Ramachandra. He said he arrived where Rama and Lakshmana are together. That means when a person decides that I have to now give myself to see Rama and Lakshmana, go in the Gauranga everything, at that time one has actually arrived in life. Otherwise, up until that time, one is only coming and going from this body to that body. You are only arrived when you decide that my life is for service to Guru and Gauranga. So, Vibhishan Maharaj ki jai. Speed up the tastiest part, unfortunately. In 50, and my time ends at 7:45. So then he comes, he's hovering in the sky. Rama Lakshmana are sitting there, Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, a bunch of people are there. And as he's coming, the Vanas look at 4, 5 mighty Rakshasas dressed, shining in gold, looking with weapons. So they think, oh, we're being attacked by Rakshasas. So quickly they pluck out trees, mountain tops, and they're ready to fight. And Sugriva says, everybody, look at that, they are armed. Let's be ready because what if they attack Rama and Lakshmana? So Vibhishana is there with his 4 attendants. He looks at Sugriva. Rama can also hear, but he addresses Sugriva. This is an important point. And he says, actually it's good to repeat. Ravano nama durvrutto Rakshaso Rakshaseshwara Asyaham Manujo Bhrata Vibhishana iti shruta Tamaham hetu birvakye Vividhaischa yadarshayam Sadhu niryatayans Sadhu niryatyan Sita Ramaya iti punah So he's giving us the introduction. Ravana Nama Durvrutta. There is somebody called Ravana, Durvrutta, bad character fellow. Rakshasa, Rakshaseshwara. He's a Rakshasa, he's the king of the Rakshasas. Tasya Aham Anujobha. For such a character, terrorist, I am his younger brother. Vibhishana iti shruta, and I am called Vibhishana. When one comes in front of the Lord, especially as coming to surrender to the Lord, one should give a true account of one's disqualification. Sanatana Goswami, we talked about that the other day. So he says, even Prahlad Maharaj, when he is nudged forward by Lord Brahma, he says, in my veins is running blood of a I'm born in a Nicha Jati. So like that he's saying, Ravano Nama Rakshaso Rakshaseshwara Tasyaha Manujo. So they're like, oh, Ravana's brother. We attack. So he says, Tamaham Hetuvir Vakyir Vividhaischa Yadarshana. in different ways. I told Ravana, Sita Ramaya Punah Punah Iti Sadhu Niryatam. I gave him good advice, not once, not twice, again and again, daily, day after day. I was a little fly buzzing in his ear. Please give Sita back. I'm very disqualified, but I have come to Sri Ramachandra. Soham Parushtasena Tasavach Avamaniha Tyatva Putram Chadaram Cha Raghavam Sharanagati. He's making a statement of Sharanagati. That my brother, so Aham Tena by him Dasavat. He treated me like a slave because he's the thick Pulavam. Avamanita, and he insulted me. Tyatva Putram Sudha. I have given up my and daughters. Darams, I have given up my wife. Raghavam Sharanam. I have come to fall at the feet of Sri Ramachandra. In this world, other people, especially bosses, those who have power over us, they treat us like slaves, they insult us. That's not a nice place for shelter. Now he says, Tekva Dharamsha Putram, Putramsha Dhara. I left my everyone here. So one may wonder, if I have to take Sharanagati of Sri Ramachandra, am I supposed to give up my family? Tekva Putramsha Dharamsha. Half the people are like, oh my gosh, give up my family? What he is giving up is the sense of mind. We talked about this in this mamakara. This is my family. These are my children. These are my possessions. The problem is not in the possessions. The problem is in the my possessions. And then one may wonder, Rakshasa from Ravana's side. How can he take shelter of Sri Ramachandra? This is the enemy side. So Vibishana is saying to Sugriva, Sarvaloka Sharanyaya, Raghavaya Mahatmane. Ramachandra is such a person that the entire universe, all of creation can find a place at his lotus feet. Sarvaloka Sharanya. He has the capacity to give shelter to everybody. It doesn't matter where they come from, what background they come from, what education they have or don't have, how much money they have or they don't have, what qualities they have or don't have, what qualifications they have or don't have, what good looks is. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is then he tells Sugriva, Nivedayatamam Shiprabha. Vibhishanam Nivedayata. You please inform on my behalf. You make a plea. Niveda means to plead. Therefore, what we offer to the Lord is generally naivedyam. That you offer to the Lord and you request. Kindly accept. Just ringing a bell doesn't mean they will accept. In the early times of the Hare Krishna movement, the devotees were all very new, American. They didn't know how to do things. Once they had made rice and they forgot to turn on the gas, so the rice got burned at the bottom. They didn't know that they can't all. They just put it on a plate on the altar of Jagannath, closed the curtain, rang the bell because that's what you're supposed to do. They are obliged to eat. They rang the bell, closed the curtain, the pujari came out, and the plate came flying out of the water like that. Balaram like, I have no burned rice for my brother. So just because we ring a bell, the Lord's not obliged to accept until there is Nivedana. Please, what can I offer you? My heart is not clear, but my Guru has ordered that I should say, please accept. By this, our bodies and souls nourished. It's a Nivedana, it's a request. But what you have to notice is, he's asking Sugriva, you please make a plea on my behalf. This is the quality of Sharanagati. One cannot come to the Lord directly. You cannot come to Jagannath and say, I surrender unto you. Please accept me. You have to go to a Bhagavata and say to the Bhagavata, please, the Lord listens to you on my behalf. Please make a plea. They will listen to you then. Therefore, we plead to Srimati Radharani, read to Srimati Lakshmi Devi or Sita Devi. Please. When you say, you will listen. The great devotee in South India by the name Bhadrachara Ramadas. A long story, but he was arrested and every day he was whipped by the Muslim king and given food where one portion of rice and three portions of salt was mixed in. And he was living underground. That's what he had to eat for 12 years. But as soon as he got that, he would get on the wall carved the picture of Sita and Rama, Lakshmana and Hanuman, and he would offer rice with the salt in it. It was like poison. And after he would offer and eat it, for him, it tasted sweet like pies. He survived. But every day he would be whipped. So finally he said, and he was calling out to Ramachandra again and again and again. There was no response. Finally he said to Sita, please, on my behalf, please speak to Rama. And then he gives her when to speak to Rama. Not when he is busy, because then he'll be irritated. I know that Rama. So when he has come back from work and he's sitting on the jhula, he's relaxed, that time you talk about me. And after dinner, when you are offering him tambula, and you are offering, he lovingly takes from your hand, at that time you should say, please do something about Ramadas. So like someone has to offer a plea on our behalf. Okay.
Okay, do you want to wait for it?
I can do it later though. Was okay with that? Oh, sorry. My student was very unhappy that I'm extending it, but I think I got carried away in Vibishana's thing. But yeah, okay, thank you. Then we have some juice. So when he met the Vanaras around the moon, Rama and Lakshmana are listening. They are quiet. Because now it's in the hands of Sugriva. So Sugriva heard this. And then he went to Sri Ramachandra and says, Ravana's younger brother is there. He has come to see you and seek your shelter, protection. But for your own safety, Sri Rama, please consider this very, very carefully whether him or not. Rakshasas are very tricky, they're crafty, they say one thing and do something else. So I think Vibishana cannot be trusted. They can change their form at will. In fact, they may become invisible. They may attack you. They may attack the Vanaras. He may try to gain our trust and then stab us in the back. After all, he's the enemy's brother. How can we trust him? So one thing, let's arrest him and just kill him. Let's just kill Vibhishana, Sugriva's advice. Sri Ramachandra heard all these Vanaras are there. So Rama said, those who are near and dear, it is proper that in life you should take their advice. I'm also trying to seek your advice. So why don't you please advise me? Think about it and advise. So Sugriva said, oh Raghava, you know everything. But since you are asking us out of service, we give you this advice. Angada said, Vibhishana has come from the enemy camp. So he cannot be trusted. In fact, he may attack us at any time. So let's find out if he has actually some good qualities or not. Sharabha, who was also there, he said, we can talk as if we are accepting him. We will send some spies to be with him. They will observe his movements and come and tell if he is trustworthy or not. Jambavan, very wise, intelligent, the oldest in that group, the most mature one, he said, Vibhishana has come here neither at the right time nor at the right place, which means he should have come earlier if he came, not when you are already at the bank of the shore of the ocean. Or the right time, you're ready for war. He has come now. So, why now? We should consider why now. It is a way of saying, I don't think you should accept. Why now? He said, let's arrest him, put him under a hot light and interrogate him, torture him and interrogate him to know his true intentions. All of them have spoken. Somebody has not spoken yet. So when they were all speaking, Valmiki gives exactly what they are saying. But when Hanuman is about to speak, Valmiki gives very sweet words. We can repeat this. Atha samskar sampanno
संस्कार संपन्नो
Hanuman Sachivottamaha
हनुमान सचिव
Vacha Vachanam Shlaksham
उवाच
Arthavan Madhuram Lahu
मधुरं लघु
Samskar Sampanna. He's very, very refined in speech, in behavior, in attitude, extremely. Right? Sachiva Uttama, the best of advisors. Vacha Vachanam. Saksham is appreciated, glorified that you guys spoken, all of you have spoken such wise words. Saksham, Arthavat, full of meaning. When Hanuman speaks, it melts the ear and the heart. Look, spoke only few words. Some people have to speak like me, with far over time to convey something. Right? One's not like that. In very eloquent words. Truth spoken concisely is eloquence. That's the definition of eloquence. That's Hanuman. He says, Na bhavantam matisreshta samartham vadatawaram. All of you, matisreshta, are very, very wise and refined in your intelligence. Samartham vadatawaram. And you've spoken best of words. If I speak, it will be Adishayatu, as if I know better. Because you're all like Burhaspati. For Ramachandra, you yourself, along with these people, you speak better than Burhaspati. Then Hanuman said, hey Ramachandra, you're the best judge because your intelligence is good. And I'm speaking now not for argument, not for creating any friction, or with a sense of superiority. I'm the least here, but only out of respect because you asked. And he says that now he's countering all the words that they said. He says to judge good and bad qualities is difficult for us at this time. One, because we don't know his full capacity yet. Then as far as time and place consideration, actually it is the perfect time to come. Because he has understood that Ramachandra, you are superior to Ravana. So his intelligence is working very well. He has analyzed Ravana's disqualifications and he has analyzed your qualifications. And that he has chosen you. The timing is right, the place is also right. He's come before the war. And from the way he's speaking, I don't sense any animosity. I don't sense any ulterior motive or an agenda in his voice. Now, even if he tries to disguise himself with some tricks, how long? How long can he survive? Because I have examined him, he is very sincere. I think his intention is very clear. He wants to be your servant. So Ramachandra heard it. When all these Vanaras are speaking, don't accept him, kill him, torture him. Ramachandra is very sad. Very sad. Finally, when Hanuman speaks, Ramachandra is pleased, but not elated, because Hanuman also has spoken. Somehow, even Hanuman has missed something about Ramachandra. So Ram says, Mama apitu vakshati kachit prativibhashati. I also feel like I should say something. Now, technically speaking, Vibishana wants to surrender to Ramachandra. He is none of anybody's business in between. But he is going through the devotees. And these devotees are saying, don't accept. So Ramachandra's heart is in pain. He says, I also want to say this. Prati Vibhashanam. Shrotum Ichhami Tadat Sarvam. Shrotum Ichhami. I want all of you to hear. Bhavadvi Shreyashi Sthita. You are all situated in my welfare. So I appreciate that. It says, Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam. So beautiful verse. Mitra Bhavena Sampraptam.
Mitra
Yatyajeyam Kathanchana. Dosho Yadyapi Tasya Syat. Tatam Etat Agarhitam. He has come with Mitra Bhavena. He's come in a mood of friendship. For such persons, Nityajet Kathancha. Under any circumstance, they should not be rejected. Dosho Yadyapi Tasya Syat. He may have a lot of faults in him. Because if I reject, Natam Etat Agarhitam, saintly persons will not. What is the consideration? What will the saintly person think of me? This is the greatest thing for a devotee. How should I behave such that the saintly persons are pleased with me? This is how I conduct my life. So someone may say, Mitra Bhavena, actually he is not friendly, but he has come for himself. This Mitra Bhavena can also be read as he really doesn't have it. He's only showing it. He's acting it. He doesn't feel it. Ramachandra says, even if one is sincere but acting it, I will accept it. The heart is not ready. Only the behavior is there. But I still cannot reject such a person. We have so much hope, right? When we come to the Lord, that even if I'm insincere, come, please, I'm very happy to see you. And then he says to Sugriva, Sarve Bhakara Sata Panti Bharata. In this entire world, my dear Sugriva, there is no brother like Bharata. Mat Vidhat Va Pituhu Putrash. Like me, there is no son. Suhrudo na bhave Bhavat Vida, and there is no friend in this world like you. So I appreciate it. You are my best friend. After hearing all this, Ramachandra is saying, I cannot reject it because Pratam, the saintly people will say, yes, you should accept him. Sugriva said, I still think you should reject Vibhishana. I think he may cause some harm to you and Lakshmana. So, in a subtle way, Ramachandra is trying to tell Sugriva, few months ago, what was your condition? You left your brother and came to me. You were to kill your brother. And now someone has come like you and you say, I should not accept it. Sugriva has love for Ramachandra. His friendship is like a blind friendship. He said, no, he will harm you. He will harm you, Ramachandra. So Ramachandra wants to assure Sugriva. Remember, Sugriva always needs assurance. Last time also Ramachandra should prove himself. So here he says, Sudushova, Yadushova, Pesharatinicharaha, Sukshmam api ahitakartum, Mama Shakta Kathanchana, Sudushtova. He can be full of, he may be Sudushtova, full of bad qualities. Adushtova, we can have all good qualities. Kim Esha Rajini Charaha. This Rakshasa, what can he do to me? Sukshmam api ahitam. Even the slightest damage, not Kathanchana, at all, he cannot cause any danger to me. You know why is Sugriva? Vishachan Dhanavan Yaksha Na Prithivyan Jaiva Rakshasan Angulya Grena Tanhanyam Ichan Harigadeshwara Harigadeshwara King of the monkeys Ichan, if I desire Angulya Grena, in the tip of my left pinky, Vishachan, all the ghosts in the universe, Danava, all the Danavas, Yakshas, Kings, Divyan, Rakshasan, will die in one moment just by my desiring. You don't have to fight. I don't even have to release an arrow. I just have to say, Everybody die. We'll all be done. So don't worry about me. Then Ramachandra narrates a story of pigeon who was killed. And this is the famous verse which I think we should take it to our heart. Famous verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu narrated it that this is the verse that devotees should recite every day according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that keeps us alive in bhakti. Sakradeva Prabannaya
Sakrudeva Prabannaya
Tavasmiti Chayachate
Tavasmiti Chayachate
Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo
Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo
Ametadvratam Mama
Tadamyetam Mama
Anyenam Harishreshah
Anyenam Harishrestha
Dattam Matyabhayam Maya Vibishano Vasugriva
Vibishano Vasugriva
Yadiva Ravanasvayam
Yadiva Ravanasvayam
Sakradeva, even once, Prabannaya, somebody who comes to me for a shelter, even once, and says, Tava Asmi, I am yours. Abhayam Sarvabhutebhya, I will bless them with fearlessness, freedom from all anxiety. This is my brother, my promise. I live with this word. And then he says, Anyenam, it can be anyone else also. Once I give, I am happy to give abhayam to anybody. So it can be Vibishana or Sugriva. If today, right now, if now Ravana comes and says, Ramachandra, I will release him from all fear. And so as soon as he says like that, Sugriva, Hanuman, Januan, they are all shocked. Because what was Ramachandra's heart? It was crying. It was crying because you have not understood my nature. My nature is I cannot say no to anybody, even if it is an enemy. I cannot say no to them. That is my heart. And none of you have understood it. So I want to offer this to Sugriva's heart melted completely. And then he happily agreed that Vibhishana should be accepted. So Vibhishana from the sky with all his attendants fell down at the feet of Ramachandra. And this verse is the way one should recite Saranagati to the Lord. Maya Lanka
Maya Lanka
Mitrani cha dhanani cha
Mitrani cha dhanani cha
Bhavadgatam hi me rajyam
Bhavadgatam hi me rajyam
Jeevitam cha sukhani cha
Jeevitam cha sukhani cha
Parityakya Maya Lanka. Left Lanka. Parityakya, not just left, completely given. Pari is the its surrounding, total, complete. I've completely given Lanka. Mitrani, I've given up my friends. Dhanani, I've given up my wealth. Bhavadgatam hi me. From now on, you are my only aspiration. Gatam. Rajyam, Jeevitam, Chasukhani. You are my wealth, my kingdom. That means all of my sense of living in luxury is in your service. When I serve you, I live in luxury. Jeevitam, my life, there is breath in my life because you are my shelter. And Sukhani, all my happiness is in service to you. As the verse also related, when he says Lanka, Mitra, Dhana, then Rajyam, Jeevitam, Sukhani, they all match because we need friends to feel happy, we need Dhana to feel happy, Mitra to feel alive, in Lanka, possessions to feel like, oh, I own something. So basically, I own your service. So one may think earlier, I leave everything. One leaves one's possessiveness and attachment is to the Lord and His service. So So this is the, in Vibishana, in all of that he has spoken, all the 6 qualities of Sharanagati are there. Anukulyasya sankalpa. Accepting that which is favorable. What has he done? He has come and accepted or come and petitioned to Ramachandra that I want to be at your lotus feet. And he did it through Sugriva. Pratipulasya Varjana. Obviously, he left Ravana. Rakshishyati Vishwas. He was confident that Ramachandra will accept him. And how did he say? Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Raghavaya Mahatmane. He has a very, very large heart. Gopurte Varanam. Then Ramachandra is my only maintainer. What did he say? Parityakta Maya Lanka Mitrani Cha Dhanani Cha Bhavatgatam Hi Mera. You are my complete maintainer. Atma Nikshepa. To throw oneself. Nikshepa is to throw oneself, one's entire body, mind, soul, word, everything onto Lord Ramachandra. So from the sky he fell at his feet. Karpanyam. Karpanyam, humility, lightness. What is the humility? Bhavatgatam hi me. You are my only shelter. I have nothing else. I have no place to go. So this is Sharanagati. So Ramachandra became so pleased that he picked up Vibhishana and with his hands and words, Santayitva, placated him. Don't worry, I'm there. Tam, this is beautiful. Tam prasadam tu ramasya.
Tam prasadantu Ramasya.
Ratva tadyaplavangama.
Yatpa Adhyapavangama.
Ratutshud mahatmanam. Sadhu sadviti cha bruvan.
Sadhu Sadviti Cha Pravan.
They saw Ramachandra pick up Vibhishana, Rakshasa, with his hands placate him, with his words placate him. Ramachandra is looking at Vibhishana and tears are rolling down his cheeks. Valmiki says, he saw Vibhishana and Netrabhyam Piban Eva. Through his eyes, he was drinking the form of Vibhishana. As a devotee, when we come and stand in front of the Lord, actually we are supposed to look at the form of the Lord and drink his form with our eyes and keep him in our heart. That is what a devotee should do. That's it for his devotee. I mean, he's so pleased to see anybody who comes to him, that his own eyes are filled and he drinks their form. He's giving them a place in his heart. When they saw this, they all stood up in surprise and loudly said, Sadhu, this is the best thing. This is the best thing that we can do for Vibhishana. And Sugriva said, now he's part of our family. That is how Vibhishana was accepted into Ramachandra's shelter. Wait, please forgive me. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki jai, Vibhishan Maharaj ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Premanande Hari Om, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Ramani ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. I am very, very sorry. I went overboard. Tomorrow I'll keep it on track.